Hey, Queen Mom 091517. Thanks for all your great questions. I have a cold, so excuse my raspy voice. Here we go with the answers to some of your questions. I'm including audio for people who are blind and have low vision because I've typed out the other portion for people who are deaf and hard of hearing. So as I've indicated in my Twitter tweet, I am a visionary and detail-oriented. The goal is to help Toronto residents into home ownership if they want to become home owners. My joint property ownership plan Toronto can be found online on my YouTube channel under my name, D!ONNE, all uppercase letters, Renee, R-E-N-E with an accent aigu E. So if you Google, my YouTube channel will come up. You can also check out the hashtag JPOPToronto. That's J as in John, P as in Paul, O, P as in Paul, T as in Tom, O, R, O, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, O. So that's JPOPToronto, also known as Joint Property Ownership Plan Toronto. And as a little reminder, I note that my solutions are being touted by others as their own. They're my ideas. Here is how my original ideas work. 1. As the owner of the largest holdings of rental properties in Canada, the City of Toronto has the opportunity to create JPOP Toronto Joint Property Ownership Plan opportunities with residents. 2. For people living in our rental units who want to rent, they can continue to rent or they can own. So they can continue to rent our properties or they have an option to own. For people who want to enter the home ownership market, my Joint Property Ownership Plan Toronto creates opportunities to do so through co-ownership with the City of Toronto. 3. Here is how my JPOP Toronto solution for housing works. Joint Property Ownership Plan, also known as JPOP Toronto, Why Rent When You Can Own, follows the following process. A. The City of Toronto is the largest property holder, landlord in Canada. Why not build accessible housing that allows workers to stay living and owning in Toronto? B. We want people to have an opportunity or have opportunities to invest in themselves and in community. My Joint Property Ownership Plan Toronto, JPOP Toronto, allows Torontonians to invest in themselves by having them pay what they would ordinarily pay towards rent, they would now pay towards their mortgage. It's possible. Page 2, B1. We start by renovating all the properties we own that are not inhabitable. Yes, I said not inhabitable, so that means they've already closed down. 2, so that's B2. According to the Toronto Star, there are approximately 1,000 units that are closed. So I've included a link for the Toronto Star. The URL is quite long. It's https://www. So that's waiting-list-grows, so that's grows with an S on the end, .html. If anyone needs me to send them the link, just email me at mycity@torontomail.com or send me a message on Twitter asking for the very link. I'll continue. So this is now 3B3. According to the CBC, there are approximately 7,500 units that will not be fit to live in by the close of 2018. The URL is https://www, so that's www.cbc.ca/news/Canada/Toronto/subsidized housing T as in Tom, C as in cat, H, so that's TCH federal budget 1.34877070. Point 4. So that's at least 8,000 units of housing stock that is available to renovate, rebuild, replace. This means at least 8,000 opportunities for local builder jobs, local apprenticeships, local design contests, work and film crews, partnerships, all leading to at least 8,000 homes within 1 year of the commencement of the J-Pop Toronto activity. The Property Brothers on HGTV can renovate a home in 7 weeks. I believe we can have these homes fixed and move-in ready with the help of HGTV peeps and other interested parties. This will be the largest renovation team and effort in the history of Canadian television. Remember when Mike Holmes built a whole street of houses? Do you remember that one? Okay. So it can be done. Point 5. Permits will be easier to access because our housing priority plan is a city-led initiative that has an express service team dedicated to ensuring that all things are coordinated well to completion of our goals. Point 6. This entire first-year process will be the template for carrying out our near future 401 Residences Retail, Recreation, and Resources build. The 401 Residences Retail, Recreation, and Resources build will be the world's first and largest, longest, fully accessible, solar-operated, self-sustaining, climate-controlled community, also known as a city within a city. Point 7. With my election as mayor of Toronto, the 401 Residences Retail, Recreation, and Resources build will be Toronto's long-term solution to community wellness, housing, home ownership, opportunities, accessibility, employment, innovation, access to services, maker spaces, placemaking, making dreams possible, and more to ensure that we all have the ability to live and thrive. We're now on page 3 under the heading Houses with Rental Income Unit. So this would be D on page 3. Where possible, houses will be constructed to have a fixed rental income unit opportunity available. These units will be rented out to individuals and families on the Joint Property Ownership Plan Toronto waiting list. The payment of rent from the income unit would be shared between the City of Toronto and the co-owner. So that would mean a portion would go towards paying down the co-owner's mortgage and the other half going towards the city. Tenants are responsible for all utilities. The City of Toronto would be responsible for approving renters and landlord responsibilities in partnership with the co-owner. No co-ownership property shall be used for short-term rentals. Under the heading Accessible Pricing, point E. My solution to create more homeowners is effective and possible, allowing individuals to build equity and maintain security. As a first-time homeowner, not-for-profit social services agencies can also be involved in the Joint Property Ownership Plan with the City of Toronto. Homeowners can enter the property ownership market co-owning with the city. A city-owned property with the market value of $500,000 would now have the mortgage qualification amount halved for the portion that the member of the public would be responsible to hold a mortgage for or pay outright. So instead of having to qualify for a $500,000 mortgage, the would-be homeowner would now only have to qualify for a $250,000 mortgage. Where in Toronto can you buy a home for $250,000? Properties co-owned by not-for-profit social agencies or social services agencies follow all applicable rules. Mortgages would be obtained through the ordinary fashion of obtaining mortgages. Also, there's an opportunity to make joint property ownership plan Toronto even easier by making flexible mortgages available depending on income threshold, should we confirm partnerships that are amenable to these fee structures. A long-term goal would include creating our own City of Toronto banking system and services, but that's another story. We're now on page 4. The subject line or heading is selling. So we have F, underselling. When the co-owner is ready to move, the property will be sold with application appreciation. Yes, that did not make sense. So I guess Belichick changed my words for me. So that should have read, when the co-owner is ready to move, the property will be sold with applicable appreciation on the property to the next buyer on the co-ownership waiting list at a price no less than market value. So that means people on the waiting list, and that could include the renters, because remember, the people who are on the fixed income in the fixed income rental units of these properties have a priority to go ahead and enter the draw, if you will, depending on how many people we have as participants, for an opportunity at co-ownership. So literally when the property is sold, then we create space for the next individual or families to come in to home ownership. So always creating space for the next. No individual or individuals shall own more than one joint property Toronto unit or any other property at any given time. Joint property Toronto is a one-time opportunity. Once a name is attached to a mortgage or sale of a joint property unit, no further sales of units may occur. G. By electing ONNE Renée for Mayor of Toronto on Election Day, we can make opportunities happen. Together we succeed. For more details, please review the following on my YouTube channel. There's audio and closed captioning included. So that's at https:// so that's YOU, T as in Tom, U, so that's U2.be, so that's YOUTU.be / F as in Frank, K 64 - N as in Nancy, U, F as in Frank, U _Y. So that last part with the FU _Y, the F, the U, and the Y are all uppercase letters. So let me do this all again. https:// YOUTU.B as in Bob, E / F as in Frank, K 64 - N as in Nancy, U, capital F, capital U _Y. Thanks, and remember the hashtag #JPopToronto. Be well. Together we succeed.